What's one of the wildest things that's ever happened while you were filming?
All these cars park and it's all guys. There was like 15 people there. I was like, ooh, all of a sudden, like these cops showed up, like right where like we had all parked.
Hey, I'm Christopher Hamilton, CEO of Texas Health Action and Kind Clinic, and I can host this series, Navigation, where we're going to talk about queer sex and the chaotic world that goes along with it. Maybe sometime you've been at work and you're like, screw this, I'm starting my OnlyFans and I'm out. Well, we've got some people that are going to help us answer that question and know what it's like. Today, I've got two special guests with me. We're going to learn about subscription-based services, kind of like OnlyFans, UV Club, Just for Fans, any of the others that you can think about. Speaking of subscriptions, we're finally a podcast. We're going to try this new thing out and see what it's like. You can subscribe. You can check us out on Substack. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Let me welcome Jay and Jager. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for joining me.
Of course.
Before we start, how do you refer to yourselves and your work?
I just would consider myself like a content creator, adult content creator, sex worker, and all of the above are fine with me.
I honestly prefer the term entrepreneur.
Okay.
Because not only am I an OnlyFans creator, I'm also a server in the daytime, but I also do go-go dancing on the weekends at some of the clubs like Oil Cans, Rain, Highland, even the Iron Bear sometimes.
Busy.
It's easier to put on a resume.
How many people ever come up to you thinking like, oh, it's so easy, I can just do this, you know? And then you're like, let me tell you, it is not that easy. What is that like?
Everybody. I don't think they understand how much time, and it's a job at the end of the day, and how much effort you have to put into it as far as like promoting and angles, and there's so much that goes into it.
I agree. I definitely think it's like a full-time job, actually. Like the amount of time that you have to put into it, it's like, I always tell people I never have a day off. I'm constantly working. I feel like I'm always kind of like thinking of like, oh, can I do something here to make like content here? It's a constant thing for me. I'm always working in my mind.
What's that day in the life like? I mean, you talked about, having to, plan out maybe your content, you're promoting, and like what is a typical day?
I mean, for me personally, I feel like it kind of depends on the day and like what kind of content I'm feeling like making. So sometimes if I'm doing something just on my own time, like during a hookup, of course, get the consent. If I am collabing with another content creator, usually like we'll discuss location and everything all in the text.
I have like this little promotion, I guess, like routine that I do where I'll go and like DM other content creators who have a similar following or just kind of like are, doing the same type of stuff that I'm doing, message them, and we'll kind of have like the little retweets for retweets sort of situation. Just try to promote your like, already filmed stuff. And then same thing, say if I have like a video that I'm planning on filming, I'll go out and like figure out where I'm going to do that, who exactly I'm going to do it with, if anybody. I do like more kind of like in the moment. So if I am in a hookup situation, I'll obviously, like you said, get consent. And, normally I don't like to have faces or anything like that. So I do make sure that I don't have any faces, but mine's kind of like spur of the moment type of style stuff. But that's kind of how that works.
Okay, so you're not like creating a whole storyboard and let me figure this out. It's very like you said, kind of in the moment. Are you planning out maybe a little bit more or drawing inspiration from something?
I have a lot of friends. They have like a layout of like how they would do things. So like for like the first 10 minutes, we're gonna kiss, make out. For the next 5-10 minutes before we change positions, we're gonna be giving each other kisses on our friendly parts.
Say what you want to say.
They'll have like a kind of a plan as far as how the collab will go. Again, like for me, it's more so getting the right angle, getting a good cum shot, and I like to see it blow up on my face. So I mean,
Yeah, for sure. If I was to do a collab, I would say probably like how I've done in the past with other creators is I've basically like kind of same thing. We would initially kind of just hang out and chat for a little bit, kind of get to know each other. If I haven't ever met them other than like on social media. And then from there, we'll kind of do some kissing, like you said, just kind of ease into it to kind of break like that little tension, I guess you could say, because there is kind of some awkwardness sometimes at first. And then once that's done, you kind of just get right into like whatever the vibe is. It can go one way or the other, but there's some sort of guidelines, but not always for me.
And are you meeting other collab people through, the usual apps? Or is it like, hey, I was out at the bar and we kind of went home and we filmed something? Or is it just like whatever works?
I'd say a little bit of both for me.
Yeah, for me, I get a lot of if it is another collab creator, like a OnlyFans creator, they usually reach out to me through Twitter. A couple of them have reached out to me through Instagram. But other than that, I kind of just whenever I'm cruising, I'll get some content in. So really, anybody can kind of do it. Again, it just depends on how much time you're willing to put towards it, how much effort, and how much you're willing to show and be open with.
What is that when you're starting to, I guess, talk with somebody else that you're going to collaborate with? What is that like in terms of negotiating what you're comfortable with, what you're not? Do you talk about testing? Do you talk about, like, I guess, what goes into that conversation as you start to meet with somebody?
So there's some guidelines. Obviously, it depends kind of on like what style of content you film. The question's always asked: are you taking any sort of preventative measures like PrEP, Doxy, all of those sorts of things? If you're doing it, if it's more of like a actual like collab where you're working with another content creator who does have like another like OnlyFans UV Club platform, then there's some guidelines normally. Like, for example, I was going to do a collab house. With that one, they have like you get tested 14 days beforehand. That way you can have all of like your results in by then, and then you can kind of give that information to them. Again, they're all taking like preventative measures to make sure that everybody's safe. And that's kind of how that works if I'm going on like a more strict, I guess you could say, guideline. But just making sure that, you ask people the right questions and make sure that you're keeping yourself like informed with that type of stuff.
For me, I kind of do a little bit of research on their past content, kind of what they do, a lot of what I might be interested in doing or have being done to me. I also, and then within like asking and like seeing that, like I kind of will see on their bio too, like if they have their status on there. But that's usually how I go about it. Oh wait, can we cut? Oh, it's like really hot. Yeah, so usually we'll start talking about like a location, a concept, like their niche, my niche, kind of what we're gonna be doing in the content, and then that's usually when like the question of like PrEP will come up. Based on their response, usually, if they are on PrEP, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I'll offer raw or come inside me kind of things. But if they're kind of weary around the question or how they respond, if they're not kind of giving me vibes that they are on PrEP, I don't ever like to make anyone feel too like, if they are undetectable or whatever, I don't want to shame anybody or make them feel uncomfortable. So I don't really ask that. I kind of walk around that question to get a vibe of what they're willing to disclose and an idea of how to be, I guess, sexually, and what's off limits, what's not off limits.
Basically figuring out what they're comfortable with, like kind of going back in their videos, kind of seeing their style of content, what their niche is, type of thing. For me specifically, I'm kind of freaky, so I'm kind of into like a little bit of everything. I don't really have any sort of limits. I mean, there is some limits a little bit, I don't want anything to do with like or like anything like crazy, but other than that, like, I'm very comfortable.
Whatever, people.
Look,
whatever.
Some people
know
are.
your boundaries.
Exactly. So I do like to make sure that we're all on the same page. Like, that we're not stepping into something that maybe we didn't fully understand or agree to, in regards to like boundaries, in regards to like sexual health. Same thing, just asking those questions, making sure that you're having those conversations is really important for me.
Have you ever run into anybody or started a collaboration and they didn't know anything about like PrEP or DoxyPep or?
I mean, I feel like that's like DL guys all the time. Like whenever we're cruising, I feel like we've run into like a lot of DL guys, and I mean with that, again, a facial is fine, but I mean just like and honestly, they're more comfortable with that too, or like they'll pull out and just like come on or something. But I've noticed a lot of DL guys like condoms, and that's completely fine with me.
I honestly use it as like a little chance to kind of just educate somebody. I think it's something that I'm really passionate about, or I think it's just really important. I'll educate them on some things that they can do to help protect themselves and others. Just really, really important to stay informed. Like, look, you can do something that keeps you from catching XYZ, or you can do these things that basically are just like, maintaining your sexual health and just making sure that you're taking care of yourself in general. But there's an opportunity to inform and educate, I think.
How does this impact dating life? If you're dating.
Well, right. I mean, personally, I've been talking to somebody for maybe like 7 months, if I'm being honest. So I have been kind of not collabing as much. I mean, although he is for it and he wants to be a part of it, I kind of been taking a break from that just to see how much of a difference it is from, being a 24/7 content creator plus like my day job opposed to being in a relationship and seeing how that feels.
I personally don't date at this moment in my life. I just don't think it really aligns with kind of like what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm shutting myself completely off to the idea, but I just haven't really found somebody who I think is going to align or like fit into that. Or it is my source of income at this moment in time, and I make pretty decent money doing what I do. Most people are either not comfortable with it, they'll get jealous or something. It's just, there's a lot that comes with it, a lot of complexity. So I just choose to kind of stay away from it. Now I'm taking the opportunity to focus on myself and build something, and then maybe have someone else come into that. So I'm not necessarily like not looking, but I'm not looking, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's one of the wildest things that's ever happened while you were filming or trying to set up time with another creator?
This is a good one. You want to go? I have a
I'll let you know. You go first.
Okay, cool. So I was cruising in North Austin. This was like years ago. I don't know if anyone's been to Walnut Creek before, but I have been. I went there, and one of the entrances was on like a neighborhood street, and there's this house that like is right across from the entrance, and so that house, I'm sure, sees like all these cars park and like go down that one trail, and it's all guys, and it's all, and so I remember one time I had showed up there because like they said that there was like 15 people there. I was like, oh, let me hop on. And so I got there, I parked, and I did notice the guy was outside of his house, like just like watching, and I didn't think anything of it. But like, anyway, I went in, did the thing, and all of a sudden, like, these cops showed up like right where like we had all parked, and so the police started walking down that trail, and like I just saw flashlights, and you could just see like a bunch of gays just running from the woods like on the opposite direction. It was so funny, but I kind of was like, I need to get back to my car. So I did some quick thinking, and I ran around, and I ran towards like the cop cars, kind of like around like the bushes and everything. And so I was like running along, like if I was like running on the street or whatever, and like running by the police cars, and I was just like, I can't believe that gays and they're hooking up in the woods again. Oh my goodness. And so I like I was running down that street, and I was hoping that like I could run to the end of the street and just like, okay, cool, whatever, I'm gonna run back and like go to my car. There was another cop at the end of that street, and so I had to really sell it. Like I was running the whole so I had to run like
just out for a jog.
Literally, I ran maybe like 2 miles after that, and I was just like, damn. But I mean, I didn't get caught, so.
All right.
Yes, be careful.
Yes.
That's actually funny because I was gonna say something similar. I was like cruising and same sort of thing. I was outside. I don't ever do that, by the way. I'm not like a cruiser per se. It gives me anxiety. So I tried it for my first time, and of course, when I tried it, I was outside, and that's actually exactly where I was, is Walnut Creek, and the same thing. Like, but we were like deep in the woods, and also I don't know the geography of that area super well. So I was completely undressed, like I just got completely naked because I was trying to like, I guess, like engage in the experience fully. Like I said, the cops comes up, and then we see the cops cars, and I'm having to like, the guy just left, so I'm like sitting there like butt naked, and I'm having to put all my clothes on like super fast and just like run. And yeah, I don't even like.
Don't go to Walnut Creek, y'all.
Right.
It's not safe.
Literally, exactly.
That is exciting. Well, what do people get wrong about what you do?
I mean, okay, so I'm not huge into dating. Before I was dating, again, I kind of had the same outlook. Like it's not for me. I don't really want it. Like, as far as like the life I'm trying to live, like it doesn't, again, align with what I want. But I would try to date and try to at least like explain what I would need in that kind of setting. And a lot of them just didn't think I had a respect for myself. Like I remember I was talking to this one guy, and then we ended up moving in together, but we had to be friends. We couldn't be anything more than friends because we were moving in together. And I remember I drew that boundary. It turned into like not even a friendship. Like he was just like downing me the whole time and just saying, I could never be with somebody who does that. And like, it was a very negative feeling living with him, and I would never want to feel like that again. So they don't understand that we do have respect for ourselves. It's just, it's just sex I guess for me, it's just sex. Like, I don't know, It's a transfer of energy. Like, when you're hooking up with somebody, when you're cruising, you're wanting something, you're taking something from that person, and I'm just doing the same thing.
People think it's a lot easier than it is actually. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and like you said, there's a lot of emotions and like feelings that come with that, and a lot of things that come from other people, like judgment. And if you have the ability to like kind of shut that off. It takes a certain type of person, and you have to be a strong-minded person, I think, to be able to do the things that we do. And I think people just, like I said, think it's really easy, and it's just something that anybody can do, and it's really not. You have to have the right mindset. You have to, be able to put yourself out there and be comfortable with people having those judgments and saying things online about you, or even in person. I've had people that necessarily wouldn't want to be friends with me, or like wouldn't interact with me if they see me, things like that. But that's kind of my takeaway from what I've gotten from the whole experience of doing it.
I guess in some of those interactions where maybe emotions are different, like, have you ever had an experience where that kind of lingers after?
For me, I mean, every now and then I'll kind of get in like that mindset. I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, oh my God. But I am also a go-go dancer. And I've been doing that for like 2.5 years. And honestly, that's helped me so much. Like, I don't know if it's like a confidence boost, but also like where I'm dancing, the people I'm dancing around, and the environment I'm in, it's a very positive environment. So again, I don't really feel that negativity as much as I used to. And if I do, it's easier to kind of get out of that hole, just because like I have so much love around me. So
yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like I feel like those emotions linger sometimes, and it's something that just, like I said, you have to have the right mindset for. I personally go to therapy, so I try to do things to take care of my mental health, because that is a big factor of doing this types of things. I think anybody in general, I think everybody should see a therapist, and especially having like friends and people that you can kind of like lean on and let them know, like, hey, like, I felt this way, or people who can relate. So like being able to have like a friend like Jay where you can kind of go to him and be like, hey, like, this person said this, or like I just feel this way right now, and kind of having someone that you can bounce that off of really does help. Has always helped me kind of get out of those like little funks that I get in if I get in them.
Talked about going to therapy, probably go, I don't know, for STI testing and things periodically, right? Yes. And this work, you don't really have a union. I don't know. What's health insurance like? What is, accessing healthcare like? Yeah,
for sure. So I don't personally have health insurance. So I go through a clinic that basically helps me, do those services for me. It just gives you access to those sorts of resources to be able to have access to the things that you need. So the therapy that I do is through like a family member's work. So I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to have those things. But there's definitely options, I'm saying, to like Kind Clinic, of course, that you can go to and, get those resources for sure.
I second that. I go through a clinic like Kind Clinic to get all my prep and Doxy Pep and all of it. Lou, bye-bye, I'm out.
Hey, we've got burning questions from our audience, things people really want to know. Are you ready?
No. Yeah.
What's the deal with gay for pay creators? And would you ever work with guys who are straight?
I mean, I'm open to it. I mean, I don't know, straight. I don't know. I like a good DL man. I don't know. Like,
adds to the experience maybe a little?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's like they're sacred, like never been touched before. Also, it's like I'm their first time. I don't know. It's just something nostalgic about it.
I have like a theory about the gay for pay situation. I don't know if I should ruin the fantasy or not, but I don't think they're actually, like you said, gay for pay. I feel like, are they really gay for pay, or are they actually just gay? They're like doing the videos on the side. But I mean, for the fantasy, absolutely, yeah, of course.
Okay. How honest do you think creators are about their sexual health when collaborating?
I think it depends on like who you're talking to or who you're working with. Bigger creators, I feel like you're going to get those ones that are actually very honest, and then you're going to get those ones who maybe are like kind of more seedy or like film maybe like more raunchy stuff, and that kind of thing. You can maybe get into those, people who aren't so honest about things.
I second that. I mean, with me, I take everything that they tell me at face value. And again, that's why I also bring DoxyPet with me.
And I think it's like maybe you talked about earlier, part of that conversation with somebody ahead of time. Is that like, are you talking on the phone or like FaceTime or just all just
Instagram
chat?
Instagram for me, or like Twitter, or like chatting.
I'll do text and then I switch to FaceTime. Like if before I meet, just like I said, I like to kind of get those like pre-anxiety like meets or pre-meet anxiety out of the way, and like kind of go from like messaging, and then you go from messaging to like a quick little FaceTime call. But the conversation I feel like normally starts via text or like DM.
Did you ever start a collaboration and somebody chickened out? They're like, oh, you know what? I'm just too anxious and I can't do this.
Yes. I will, and I will not say names, but they know who they are.
Yeah, I've definitely had some people like that for sure.
In your opinion, which site is the best for creators?
I don't know. I've heard that Just for Fans has a lot of, they're not as strict as OnlyFans. They all kind of take a bunch of money that we make for themselves.
I know all the percentages, I'm pretty sure, are the exact same of what they take off of the amount that they take from the creators, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not trying to be biased, but I use this a platform called UV Club, which I'm getting a little free promo, but they are a platform that basically you can't get your content screenshotted, anything. If you do screenshot or you try to screen record anything, it actually blacks out the screen and it'll ban them if they try to do it more than 2 times. Also for like creators who are more so maybe not wanting people to know that what they're doing is like sex work. If you see OnlyFans, first thing you're going to think of is sex. Like you're going to think of porn, that kind of thing. If you like say for somebody who has like a big social media following on Instagram and wants to get into that type of thing, it does kind of have that little perk to it. But in regards to like the freedom, I feel like it's kind of Just for Fans is really good. I've heard OnlyFans does do some kind of monitoring of like your DMs and stuff like that. You can't take messaging off of their platform or they'll get you banned. UV Club does, I think, okay with that type of thing. Like I have like an alternate number for people who like if they pay me a certain amount or something like that, they can have like a burner phone that I use to kind of like chat a little bit more directly.
Do you get any kind of information about like where fans are across the world? Are you like, they're all in Austin, or like, they're all, I don't know, all over the world maybe?
I mean, I try to keep up with my fans, or at least the ones that even like keep subscribing with me, even when it's like a month or like it's some time that I haven't posted anything. Those ones, I keep up with them just because they're loyal and they could become like family for me.
So I obviously like subscribing to the platform that I have. It kind of gives you access to be able to DM me directly. You're going to be able to get the quickest reaction from me or like response from me. If you spend money with me more so, I'm going to obviously kind of be more attentive to you. I'm sure you probably agree time is money with this kind of stuff. So like the more money someone puts into it, obviously I'm going to give you the more attention. And even if you don't spend a lot of money with me, I'm still giving you attention. You're still paying, to be able to have access to DM me. So I normally will check in and just like say hi to all of the people who subscribe, kind of chat with them for a couple of minutes, ask them where they're from, all that good stuff.
What's the wildest offer? I'm assuming like people will DM you all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
what's the wildest thing that you've gotten?
I'm going to tame it down just because I don't want to say like what's the wildest thing, but I would say probably like I've sent people underwear that I have worn to the gym for like a few times or something like that, or like I came on and like sent them in the mail.
I must be kind of boring because I haven't had any kind of crazy wild offers.
We started out by asking, people think, oh, it's so easy, I can just do it. Do you think anybody can just be an entrepreneur or a creator? Or
I think so. I mean, I feel like there's so many kinks out there. There's so many things that people are into. I feel like this world is like getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And it's just, there's so many different.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah. There's like literally like, I'll go on Twitter and it's not just men anymore with other men. It's like threesomes, or it's like, I don't know, 2 girls, 1 cup kind of thing. Like, it's a lot.
I have a friend who posts like monthly, like for all the holidays, like he literally just the Christmas tree. Like, it's like if you can find something that works, then just there's your niche, I guess.
Somebody decides they're going to do this, they're going to start. What one piece of advice would you give them?
Having no expectations going into it, not expecting, you're going to be a billionaire off the bat. It does take time. It does take promoting. It does take a lot to kind of get up and running. Unless you have like a following already that's like...
How long have you been working at it or building audience or fan base?
So when I first started OnlyFans, I didn't have a Twitter. I kind of got a Twitter after dancing, and then I kind of started revolving it around that, and then I kind of started adding to it with like content. I think I'm at like 8,000 right now. Nothing too crazy, but again, still working on it.
I started off like just wanting to kind of be inside like the social media side of things, trying to be like an influencer. When I could finally have like the freedom to kind of post freely and do what I wanted, that's when I was able to grow like a pretty good solid fan base. I was like 66,000 followers on Twitter, and then Instagram is like 20K. So I'm actually like building from there, and I'm trying to continue to do so. So I'd probably say within like the last like few years is when I've really like been kind of focused on it and honed in.
Have you seen any changes because of like US TikTok and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, absolutely. I got banned. It was really, that one's like the hardest I feel like to grow a following on at the moment. It used to be actually super easy. And I got to 20K and I was like doing really good at it. And I was posting literally every single day, which goes back to like this is a full-time job, like social media, and doing that on all of your platforms. On top of that got banned because I said the word OF. I didn't even say like OnlyFans or anything like that. I was on live, and it's so there's it's so much more regulated after after the fact that it's in like I guess like US owns it or whatever. If you do what I do on like social media, which is like thirst trap and like that kind of stuff, it's a little bit more tricky.
Sweatpants.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
Well, Jay, Jager, thank you so much for spending time with me, answering all these questions. Those from our audience, I really appreciate it. Any final thoughts you want to share with our audience?
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Can I tag myself? Can we like add ourselves and all that?
Producers, can they tag themselves?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jager Watson, JagerWatson.
You can find me on Instagram, GoJ3XS, and Twitter, GoJXXX.
And you can find us on Instagram at Kind Clinic. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody else for watching, for listening. Again, like, subscribe, comment. Please join us. Look for us on Substack where we're adding all new content. If you liked it, thanks. Let us know. If you didn't, you're probably homophobic and bi. We don't need you. So. Kind Clinic is a program of Texas Health Action, providing high-quality, judgment-free, culturally affirming sexual health care to LGBTQIA+ people and people impacted by HIV in Texas. Get into care today or support our work by visiting kindclinic.org. This podcast is made possible in part by Avita Pharmacy. The views expressed by our guests on this podcast are their own and not those of Texas Health Action, Kind Clinic, or Waterloo Counseling Center.